This is Chemistry Basics by Gerrod and Travis. First thing, matter is anything that has mass and volume. That includes you, me, cats, and our favorite food, cheese. Second thing, matter is made up of elements. What are elements, you ask? Well, elements are substances that cannot be broken down into a simpler substance by chemical or physical means. Take gold, for example. Gold is an element, and, well, since it's an element and it cannot be broken down, gold is always gold no matter what form it's in. That includes a golden ingot, a diamond ring, or a golden trophy. On our lovely planet, there's 92 naturally occurring elements. Well, if we're made of matter, and matter is made of elements, then what are elements made of? The answer is atoms. Atoms are the smallest particles of an element that has the element's characteristics. Atoms themselves are made up of even smaller particles called protons, neutrons, and electrons. In an atom, protons and neutrons are found in the center of an atom called the nucleus. Electrons orbit around the nucleus in orbital shells. Orbital shells are just energy levels around the nucleus where you're most likely to find an electron. The valence electron is the most outer electron shell of an atom. The particles that make up atoms have properties that are unique to themselves. One of the major identifying characteristics of each particle is their electrical charge. So protons have a positive electrical charge, neutrons have no electrical charge, and electrons have a negative electrical charge. Every element has the same amount of protons and electrons. This means that the positive charge of the protons and negative charge of the electrons are equal, so they cancel each other out, making every element have a neutral electrical charge. Also, even though diagrams make it look like protons, neutrons, and electrons are the same size, they're not. Protons are roughly 1,800 times bigger than electrons. This is the periodic table of elements. It's a list of all the elements that we know of. The elements in the table are in numerical order from left to right on how many protons are in its nucleus. Elements are also placed next to other elements that have similar properties to each other, also known as families. Let's take a closer look at the boxes in the periodic table. On the top, there's the element's name. Underneath it is the atomic number, which is the number of protons or electrons in the element. Then there's the element symbol. Then at the bottom, there's the atomic mass. The atomic mass is the average of all the protons and neutrons in every single isotope of the element in the known universe. Wait a second. What's an isotope? Well, an isotope is pretty much the exact same element, but with a different amount of neutrons in the nucleus. So below is an example of two isotopes of hydrogen. The one on the left, deuterium, has one proton and one neutron. The one on the right, protonium, has only one proton. Now, most elements have multiple isotopes. Now that we know the basics of atoms, which are the building blocks of matter, let's learn about the different states of matter. Matter can exist in 4 states: solids, liquids, gases, and plasma. Solids have a fixed volume and shape. Their atoms are densely packed together and cannot move. Liquids have a fixed volume, but they take the shape of the container they are put into. Their atoms can move around freely. Gas takes the volume and shape of the container it is put in. Their atoms can move around freely and very fast. Plasma has the exact same properties of gas, but it can conduct electricity. Well, that's great and all, but how does matter change from different states? For matter to change states, there needs to be a change in the energy of the matter in the form of heat. When a matter's temperature increases, the atoms inside of it get heated up and start moving to the point where it can no longer stay in its current state of matter, so it moves to the next state. The opposite happens when the temperature of the matter decreases. The atoms begin to slow down and gradually come together until it comes to a point where they moves to the lower state of matter. The order of the states of matter goes from solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. So once you reach solid, you can no longer go any lower. Once you reach plasma, you can no longer go any higher. This wouldn't be science if we didn't name every single way to go from one state of matter to the next. So, from a solid to a liquid is melting, from a liquid to a solid is freezing, a liquid to a gas is vaporization, a gas to a liquid is condensation, a solid to a gas, skipping the liquid phase, is sublimation, a gas to a solid is depositation, a gas to a plasma is ionization, a plasma to a gas is deionization. Also, you can only reach plasma by going through the gas state. Thanks for watching.